In this session, we will discuss job queue trackers. A very important and useful feature of Eclipse is the job queue, or tracker. This mechanism allows for inter-user communication. Let's take a look at a simple example. Suppose we want to know why an inside salesperson has not released an order to be picked. We see in the customer calling queue for new items that we have an order for $36,850. We depress Alt-D to get to the detail scheduler, and there we see that the item is available for a quantity of 2, so we're wondering why these haven't shipped. We escape back, and then depress Alt-V to view the order, and then Alt-H to see the header, and we see the writer of the order is RP_Prin. Now we escape back to the body, and we send our tracker by depressing Shift and F4. A window displays. While there are 5 selection options, we elect to choose the first, the Ship To, by depressing Enter. The call tracking entry screen displays. We note that there are 19 hotkeys associated with the screen. We are simply going to use Alt-A, New Append. This allows us to append a message. We must first identify who is going to be the recipient of our tracker. We know it is RP_Prin. We can make our to entry in one of 3 ways. We can enter the login code of RP_Prin, and we get a direct hit. Or we can enter the recipient's first name. This gives us a list of users with the first name of Randy. Or we can enter the last name, which is Prince, and since there are no other Eclipse users with that last name, we get another direct hit. Next, we hit F10 in the status field to display our options. For this example, we will select Urgent. The next action field is automatically set to our login. We can hit spacebar to remove it, or we can identify a different user, TCMCCO, for example. We can now enter our message. Why has this order not been delivered? Thanks. If we want the tracker to go to more than one Eclipse user, we can use the Alt-M, multi-twos, and then create a list of recipients. We then use the escape key to return to the order, and the tracker is sent. Now Randy receives notification of the arrival of a tracker via a message on the white status line on the bottom of the screen. It tells us who it was from and gives the status. To view the tracker, go to our F2 menu. Select Messages, M, which first clears the message from the status line and then allows you to press Alt-R to see what messages we have received. The tracker is listed at the top of the screen. To see its contents, we simply select the message and depress Alt-V, View. Notice on the message display that our cursor is positioned on the sales order number. We can depress either Alt-V to view or Alt-E to edit. The next window displayed allows us to view or edit the reference sales order by depressing Enter on that first option, which is the sales order number. By doing so, Randy, the recipient, can see exactly what the sender saw. This is a very nice feature of trackers. If we escape back to the previous window and take the second option, which is the customer, we can make 2 inquiries about the customer and even take a look at the customer's record in the master file. Similarly, we could take the third option in that window, the item, which allows us to make multiple inquiries regarding the product. If we need to reply to the sender, depress Alt-A, New Append, plug in the login identifier, and add a message in reply. When we have taken the necessary action with our tracker, we must, repeat must, close it before we delete it. Escape back to the call tracking entry screen. Depress Alt-C for close. We get 3 options. Typically we choose Close Anyway, and then from the next pop-up we choose both. In the closing message box, briefly describe your action taken and depress Escape. Finally, delete the tracker using Alt-D. This was just a run-through of the most basic of tracker usage. There is, as we saw, a lot more functionality available, and we should explore those options once we are more familiar with Eclipse.